Paquito was one of the heroes that was regarded as broken in his initial release. He eventually got revamped because he was too unbalanced. Currently, Paquito is good when it comes to displacing enemy heroes, to disrupt your opponent's strategies and position. He is agile, meaning he can reposition as fast as you need when skills are available. But according to Moonton, he should only deal finishing blows. But I've been playing him for almost 5 years now, and I can confidently say that Paquito is a multi-purpose hero. He can quickly transition from being a defender to a burst hero real quick when needed. According to the official Moonton data, his win rate sits at about 47%. Not because he's gotten weaker, but because it's a bit tricky to master his playstyle. And in this video, we're going to discuss just that. How to actually play Paquito, emblems to use, builds and counter builds for heroes in specific category, hidden tricks that you might not know, and of course, skill management. Paquito is a skill-based hero. Every time you use 3 skills, you get an enhanced skill with no cooldowns. First skill gives massive shield, and it can stack with your enhanced first skill. And also, the range of the enhanced first skill is increased. Second skill is the main source of your burst damage. Enhanced second skill gives more damage. And take note that it stops when hitting enemy creeps or heroes, which makes it sometimes not good for escaping. To properly get out of battle, make sure to use your ultimate first, and then use your second skill to escape tricky situations. When you use his ultimate, Paquito knocks back enemies, slowing them down, then he darts backwards. Enhanced version on the other hand does an uppercut and knocks up enemies by 0.5 seconds, which is effective at cancelling skills when used in time. These are Paquito's basic combos. Shield combo is effective when there's a lot of incoming damage, while dealing considerable amount of damage at the same time. Jab combo is the best when it comes to dealing massive damage quickly. Ultimate combo is good when it comes to dealing massive damage and CC at the same time. You can also use flicker with each of these combos to increase your range. Shield combo plus flicker gives you unexpected engagement to the enemy. Jab plus flicker combo is best for long range engagement. Ult plus flicker is best to quickly disrupt enemy positions. His passive increases his movement speed after casting an enhanced skill, which is why high cooldown reduction is very essential to maximize your passive use. Take note that there is a short delay to his enhanced ultimate right after activating Champ Stance. These are the builds I use for both fighter and assassin playstyles, based on different scenarios. Assassin build is the one you should use under 2 conditions: when your team lacks burst and there's a lot of squishy heroes on the enemy team that needs to be taken down in order to win. This could be Layla, Moskov, Claude, Iksha, and basically all of their damage dealers. On the other hand, if the enemy team is mostly durable and doesn't have burst heroes, always go with fighter build, because it will give you a better fighting chance against tanky opponents. It is very important to use fighter build only when there is no burst damage dealers on the enemy team, so that you will have higher survivability and stay in fights much longer, especially needed when your team lacks front lines. With this build, you can act as the front line with your sustain and damage dealer at the same time once your War Axe and Brute Force Breastplate is at max stacks. The good thing about this build is that squishy enemies would not suspect that you can kill them. Take a look at this Earthile for example. Now take a look at this Granger. Notice how he is too confident at getting close to us, thinking that we don't have enough burst damage to one-tap him. When your War Axe in Brute Force is at max stacks, it will give you higher damage for a short time, which is enough to burst squishies like Granger. You can do all of these with fighter build while staying alive at the end of a team fight. When using fighter build, you should always aim to get 40% cooldown reduction, as much as possible. Also, his basic attacks only deal 85% total physical attack compared to the full 100% other heroes get, so you can't rely only on his basic attacks. Without his skills, you'll be an easy target. Also, on my fighter build, if there's a high magic DPS on the enemy team, I replace Guardian Helmet with either Athena Shield or Radiant Armor. If there's high DPS physical heroes that use basic attacks such as Zilong or Claude, I use Blade Armor, and Anti-Cuirass for heroes that deals damage using their skills such as Suyu or Yuzong. Here's an example match about how to use fighter build Paquito. In this match, I'm fighting a Benedetta. Once you're fighting a skill-based high DPS hero, always maximize your first skill shield. And your goal here is to lower the HP of the enemy, because once you do, winning the laning phase will be a piece of cake. When you're fighting a Benedetta, all you have to do is not to use your ultimate until after she uses her second skill. Bene is fast, but her skills have short wind-ups, meaning you can predict her next moves. Watch carefully how I read her movements and use skills accordingly. Paquito's second skill can pass through even the thickest of walls if you add Flicker, so don't hesitate too much when using Jab plus Flicker when there are thick obstacles. Paquito's first skill can soak large amounts of damage, so when you're tower diving, the skill that you should mostly use is his first skill. It's also important to not overestimate your abilities. Test the enemy's damage first, and if you're confident you can manage, that's the time you may go all in, especially if you have support such as Angela or Florin. With Paquito's high mobility and your build's high cooldown reduction, you can kite the enemy and provide backup for your core, compared to a fighter build that doesn't have that much cooldown reduction. It's kind of very ironic for this Leslie to care for her team, since she's been the one trash-talking us, even when the game hasn't started yet. But we ended up winning anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, Assassin build. I'm facing a strong hero with high burst damage in the XP lane this time, and you should only focus on clearing the minion waves until you reach level 4. Now, Assassin build is extremely great at taking down enemy heroes with his very high damage, although you can't just dive into teamfights because you don't have the cooldown reduction of a fighter build, so you should really be more careful at managing your skills. The philosophy of Assassin build is to take down the enemy first before they take you down, or any of your teammates. Assassin build is focused on high risk, high reward objectives, such as sneaking or diving into the enemy backlines. Although I have to admit, fighter build Paquito is the most fun to use. And speaking of fun, Mobile Legends is just a game. You don't have to let it stress you out. What matters is that you're having fun. And how do you have fun? By being better. How do you become better? By subscribing and leaving a like, so I can teach you how to be a good player. And when you're a little better at the game, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. So losing or winning wouldn't matter, as long as you know that you did your best. Thanks for watching, Shizue out.